From the Cronkite studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
4 months after residents of Parker, Arizona lost running water, officials are still receiving accusations of overbilling and water contamination. A Cronkite News investigation shares its findings.
Plus, prescription monitoring and naloxone access are two features of Arizona's plan to fight opioids. We have an outline of the state's efforts and spoke to advocates who say there may still be holes to fill.
And Cronkite News caught up with outgoing and incoming representatives as they celebrate some year-end traditions on Capitol Hill.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Danielle Kernkamp.
And I'm Veronica Acosta. Thank you for joining us. One Arizona water company is facing off with its customers. Brook Water serves the town of Parker.
When water was most needed in one of the hottest towns in America in the middle of summer, residents found their taps coming up dry.
Jesse Canales reports why that's not where the concern ends in this Colorado River community.
An Arizona vacation hotspot on the banks of the Colorado River. Locals in Parker, Arizona say the river always flows, but water doesn't always flow from their taps. Service provided by Brook Water, the main water company in the town. Amid the scorching heat in August, residents turned on their faucets for some much needed relief. And out came nothing.
I was asking my mom, calling her, I said, do you have water?
But mother of three, Nancy Hanner, said she had no other choice than to send her kids to her mom's house just so they could shower.
It was just irritating.
Broken water valves were behind the loss of water for hundreds of Parker residents. They said it was inconvenient, but not surprising.
My husband, he's a tow truck driver, so sometimes when you hit a pole or you go into a ditch, you break a line and the water goes out for a little while.
The complaints didn't end in August. In fact, they began before summer and continue.
This home is just 100 yards away from the Brook Water Tower. Residents and the Arizona Corporation Commission expressed concerns about said water.
We tested the water ourselves. The coliform test showed negative. The E. coli test showed negative. And the pH balance of the water just met the minimum EPA standards with an 8.0. Water quality was one of the main complaints from Brook Water customers.
We won't drink it. I won't feed it to my animals.
Many of Brook Water's pipelines are old pipelines made from asbestos materials. When we tested the water, we found the asbestos levels were acceptable under federal standards. But the water quality isn't the only dissatisfaction some people have.
I think we all have about the same issues, actually. My bills are always screwed up.
Paying their bills is just as complicated since there's only two ways to pay. One is by mail to a Bakersfield address. The other is through a customer service number located outside the country.
You call the 1-800 number, you get Costa Rica.
Brook Water President Robert Hardcastle said in a letter to the Corporation Commission the company worked hard to restore service in August. He also spoke out at a November 3rd Corporation Commission hearing about the accusations, saying the company is familiar with some of the complaints and are working on them.
We've got a very lengthy laundry list, if you will. We've got dozens of parts, if you will, in motion all at the same time.
Also at the meeting, the Arizona Corporation Commission said they will look into complaints and there may be some repercussions for Brook Water if they decide the company is not up to standards.
Put in a interim manager to basically take over the management of the operation and get it up to what we would consider acceptable standards.
Hardcastle said he would interview with us after speaking with his customers.
He was rude.
But when we approached him after the Corporation Commission hearing, he refused.
Can we take a moment of your time? Okay, all right. Is there any way that we can reach anybody with your company?
We reached out to Robert Hardcastle for a comment through email today, and he did respond to several of our questions.
He says they are having water techs inspected to determine, quote, what remedial treatments is recommended, if any. Based on the findings of that report, we will proceed expeditiously, unquote. He also says Brookwater is complying with the orders and directives from the Corporation Commission. The Corporation Commission says the next steps that will be taken are for the residents to testify in front of an administration law judge. They'll be subject to cross-examination by Brookwater so both sides can have a fair hearing. That has not been scheduled yet. Jessica Nollis, Cronkite News.
Arizona is usually ahead of the game nationally when it comes to fighting opioid addiction, according to the National Association for Model State Drug Laws. But advocates say there's still more to be done.
Reporter Anthony Marroquin took a look at what's going on in Arizona legislature to stave off the epidemic.
How to best prevent drug abuse has always been a contentious topic, and the opioid epidemic is no exception. I talked to some of the most influential voices in Arizona to see how they're working together to change and keep Arizona in the fight.
Everyone has an addiction to something, whether that be using substances, not shopping too much. It all stems from that lack of feeling great.
Addiction is nothing new in Angie Guerin's life. Growing up, she says it seemed like everyone around her was abusing some substance, but she never imagined following doctors' orders would put her on the same path.
I was completely and totally addicted. I had no clue.
This isn't something that's just for those people that you think have drug addiction problems. It actually can be a daily occurrence that your neighbor on the street who looks sweet and friendly can actually have an opioid problem.
Teresa Stickler fills prescriptions nearly every day and says the potential for one of her customers to be abusing does cross her mind.
How do I decide which patients am I going to keep and not keep? Which ones really have pain or which don't? I assume the doctor knows which patients really have the pain.
The best way to crack down on these excessive sales is to have doctors check to see if the patient they're giving a prescription to has gotten prescriptions from other physicians. And that's what the monitoring system is all about.
This year, the state legislature implemented a mandatory prescription drug monitoring program and facilitated access to the opiate deterrent naloxone.
Injection complete.
The two programs together provide a way to tackle the problem on two fronts. One decreases the possibility of an excess of pills on the street. The second provides an emergency help to those at risk of overdose, and both do it without overstepping doctor-patient relations.
I think we've gone pretty far, so we're going to ease our way into the ones that may not require, a full 50 caliber attack.
The legislative efforts have kept Arizona in the fight against the opioid epidemic, according to the National Association for Model State Drug Laws. Between 2009 and 2014, the state's rank in number of overdose deaths dropped 9 places to 15th. But according to the Arizona Department of Health Services, this may not signal improvement.
The overdose deaths are not actually decreasing. I think it's more of a matter of we're kind of holding our own compared to other states whose rates have significantly worsened.
In order to build an adequate foundation to tackle the opioid epidemic, the National Association for Model State Drug Laws suggests that states implement naloxone access, prescription drug monitoring programs, Good Samaritan laws, and adequate intervention programs. Arizona lacks Good Samaritan laws, and although intervention programs are being developed, advocates say it's just not enough.
We say that we care about people's lives, but we're pretty quick to lock them up as well.
Advocates say Good Samaritan laws save lives by building trust between drug users and law enforcement.
What we're trying to do is increase people calling for help. It's just like with a heart attack, the difference between survival and death is how soon you get help.
The legislation has been proposed in the state before, but opinions on how and if it should be implemented have blocked its passage. Still, one thing everyone agrees on is that the most important program to push forward is one that educates the public on drug abuse and helps Arizonans understand everyone plays a role in the problem and solution.
I think the biggest negligence lies in society in general. We have created a society where we all deserve a quick fix, and we are all looking for something to make it easier.
Cronkite News will take a deeper look into the opioid epidemic when we release our new documentary, Hooked, From Prescription to Addiction, our follow-up to our Hooked Heroin project 2 years ago. It will air on January 10th on all broadcast stations and media outlets in Arizona. In the broadcast center, Anthony Marroquin, Cronkite News.
People suffering mental illnesses can also exhibit bad judgment. That sometimes gets them on the wrong side of the law, but there's a program in Glendale that tries to get them help, not jail time. Cronkite News reporter Sarah Lichterman shows us what it takes to graduate.
I would probably not be here today. I wouldn't have learned the skills that I know now to cope with my anxiety and depression and my mental illness.
Justina Gallagher, diagnosed with PTSD and struggling with substance abuse, was arrested and brought to Glendale City Court after committing a crime while under the influence about 3 years ago.
I would get so whacked out that I physically assaulted 2 people.
This is where she met Glendale presiding judge Elizabeth Finn.
What would happen before is you would have someone picked up, maybe you held them on a bond, they'd be brought out a week later, plead guilty, get time served, and then they get arrested for a very similar type offense again.
Judge Finn created the Glendale Mental Health Court to help people like Gallagher not only stay out of the court system, but to direct them down a positive and healthy path.
We're changing people's lives. We're having them know who to call when they're in crisis or when they're in trouble. We're getting people reconnected with the system, and we're helping keep the community safe.
If the defendant chooses to enter the mental health court, he or she must meet with Judge Finn or their case manager every couple of weeks, follow Judge Finn's court orders, and remain stable for at least 6 consecutive months. The incentive for graduating? Having all charges dropped. Although Gallagher relapsed during the program, a year and a half later, she graduated and never looked back. Gallagher's case manager, Deneen Kane, worked with her through it all.
Every time I look at her, I practically cry because she's amazing.
To never give up on yourself and to always better yourself and advocate for yourself.
Because of the prevalence of mental illness cases in Arizona, multiple cities have specialized courts for mental health. In Glendale, Sarah Lichterman, Cronkite News.
On this World AIDS Day, strangers and loved ones remember those lost to the disease through quilts made to never forget them.
Quilts are usually used to keep someone warm, but for Peter, they do a lot more than that. They help remember the loved ones he lost to AIDS.
It was one of the hardest things I had to do. It took me a year before, after they passed, before I was able to actually sit down and come up with a concept for it and try to bring out who they were.
Peter lost his partner and the man who took him off the street to AIDS, but he himself is a survivor.
I go through a lot of survival guilt. I go through a lot of long-time survivors, what we call long-time survivor syndrome, depression, and especially around this time of the year, it's one of the hardest times for me because they both passed away, one before Thanksgiving, the other one just before Christmas.
Today, there are over 49,000 panels, just like the ones Peter made.
At this point, the quilt is far too large to be shown in one place. There's just too many sections to be able to show it in one place.
And Peter hopes the memory of all those lost lives on.
Because I want to make sure people don't forget what we went through in the early days, how hard it was when every other week we were going to another funeral or a burial when we was losing so many people.
If you're interested in making a panel for the AIDS quilt, you can go on to aidsquilt.org to get more information. Credit card theft is increasing at gas stations.
But one credit union is working with police to detect card skimming patterns. Coming up on Cronkite News, how changes at the gas pumps will protect your credit cards.
And while Representative Matt Salmon is finishing his final term, freshman Congressman Andy Biggs and Tom O'Halloran are in the Capitol wishing for the best offices.
From Arizona to D.C. and L.A., we are determined to deliver the best coverage in all news across the nation.
We are Borderlands.
We are legal.
We are consumer.
We are sports.
We are money.
We are investigative.
We are sustainability.
We are Cronkite News.
We are Cronkite News.
Somos Cronkite News en español.
We are Cronkite News.
We are Cronkite News.
We are Cronkite News. Weekdays at 5 p.m.
A box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, box. Break out of the box with PBS.
When members of Congress leave Washington, it's not always their choice, but one Arizona congressman is leaving Capitol Hill on his own terms for a second time. Reporter Sabella Scalise is in our Washington bureau and has the story of Representative Matt Salmon of Mesa as he nears the end of his 5th term.
When Matt Salmon announced in spring that he was leaving Congress, he said he was doing so he could spend more time with his family. But as his time in Washington nears an end, he admitted to Cronkite News that the time he spent with his constituents is what he will miss the most.
I loved every town hall meeting that I had, even those where we had people that didn't agree with me. It was an invigorating process.
This is not the first time Salmon is leaving the Capitol. Salmon was first elected to Congress in 1994. He kept his term limit pledge and went into retirement after 3 terms. But he felt the call to serve again, and voters returned him to Congress in 2012. Once he was back on the Hill, colleagues said Salmon continued to make a name for himself in domestic and foreign affairs.
His expertise and familiarity and knowledge about China and trade issues and security issues has been great for Arizona and great for the country.
Salmon this week looked back on the large victories as well as the small during his time here.
One of the most important things I got through into law was Amy's Law, the No Second Chances for Rapists, Murderers, and Molesters Act.
He will also remember working with constituents, particularly with veterans.
I mean, truly the unsung heroes of America.
Incoming Republican freshman Andy Biggs said he hopes to continue Salmon's legacy of service.
And he really set the tone on getting some things done, and for me, that translates into doing what I promised constituents.
But Salmon said,
I really hope that my legacy is that I truly fought for the people that I was elected to serve.
In Washington, D.C., Sabella Scalise, Cronkite News.
As Matt Salmon empties out his office, 50 newly elected members are preparing to move into their home on the Hill. But first, there's tradition to follow. Cronkite News reporter Claire Caulfield is in D.C. with the exciting ritual.
Anywhere else in the country, an office assignment is pretty routine. But this is Washington, D.C., where a room isn't just a room, it's a representation of prestige and power. Anxious chiefs of staff, good luck charms, and strategizers packed into a room today for the biannual office lottery. Lucky number 1 was pulled early on by Lou Carrera of California, followed immediately by the former Florida governor's pick.
Mr. Christ drew number 50.
Tension and excitement in the room grew as the drawings continued. But Andy Biggs, who will represent Arizona's 5th district, felt good about his chances.
I feel like I'm a pretty lucky guy anyway, so I don't think I need to do anything special.
Which must have paid off as Biggs drew number 19 to cheers. Arizona's other new member, Tom O'Halloran of District 1, fared slightly better at number 16, and he's already making plans to decorate the office to represent his district.
And it has the culture of multitude of diversity. And so that's what I want my office to look like.
Now, boxes, furniture, and supplies load into the Capitol so the 115th Congress can get down to business come January 3rd. The event today was filled with high fives and hugs, but as some bystanders pointed out, this may be the last time all these congressmen get along. Live in Washington, D.C., Claire Caulfield, Cronkite News.
FBI recruits have to pass a rigorous physical fitness test to join the agency.
An ordeal involving push-ups, sit-ups, and a lot of running. Coming up on Cronkite News, we sent a reporter to one of these tests to find out if she could make the cut.
And we still have this huge dip in the jet stream that's bringing colder temperatures and a chance of rain tomorrow. I track those chances coming up next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm always searching to feel like I fit into something.
We are the people that we are because of our past.
I'm just one of many who stopped being silent.
They said the fight would break us, the struggle helped to make who we are.
It's just proof of how far we have come.
Make sure in all the hustle and bustle, we don't lose sight of why we're here.
It all boils down to communicating the lives we live.
If you look closely, they've got a story to tell.
It connects with you in a very deep way.
We wish you love, peace, and soul.
Come with us on this great adventure.
Temps around the valley are still way below normal.
Tyler Klaus is in the Weather Center with how long the chilly temps will last.
We're still about 10 degrees below normal, 61 degrees right now in Phoenix. Our normal for this time of year is right about 70 degrees, so definitely about 10 degrees below normal. We have 38 degrees up in Flagstaff and 63 degrees down in Tucson. Back here in the valley for the rest of your evening, we're going to cool off to about 58 degrees as you head home for work and for any evening plans. By the time you're going to bed tonight, we cool off to 53, and as a low tonight, waking up tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., 45 degrees with cloudy skies. As we take a look at our forecast, you can really see those clouds really all the way across the state tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Working through the day on Friday, we get some snow showers that start to form over the mountains north of Phoenix, and a spot shower or two. As we work through the day on Friday, those kind of dissipate north of Phoenix, and then we get some showers down near Tucson. And those will try to bubble up their way towards Phoenix by about 8 p.m. We have about a 10% chance, mainly east of Phoenix at 8 p.m. for a chance of a spot shower or two. I'm not thinking any kind of widespread range, but definitely something that could ruin your evening Friday plans if those do accumulate. Now, working through Friday and into Saturday, the clouds go away, and we get a lot of sunshine, and that will actually help our temperatures on Sunday get back to about normal, 70 degrees, 69 degrees on Saturday, with sunny skies dropping down to 67 degrees on Sunday. But then we get another weather system comes through that knocks our temperatures down to about 62 degrees, back to below normal on Tuesday. Tyler Klaus, Cronkite Weather.
2016 has seen a sharp spike in credit card skimmers found at gas pumps around the state. Reporter Zach Moran tells us what's being done to prevent the crimes and what you can do to stay protected.
It can happen almost instantaneously. You use your credit card while paying for gas, and before you know it, someone else has your account information. This is the reality for many Valley residents who have fallen victim to these new card skimmers.
Most of them don't understand how this could happen. You know, I've got my card in my possession. How can they be using my card number?
It's an invisible crime where hackers replace the wiring of the card readers and use Bluetooth to instantly and discreetly steal the card information. But Vantage West Credit Union has been working quietly behind the scenes to gather data, detect patterns, and alert local police when they pinpoint skimming activity.
We started finding, you know, individual cases here and there, and then it seems like things picked up all of a sudden when we were located several at multiple locations.
84 skimmers have been found inside gas pumps and around the state this year. Compare that to 2015, where only 11 were found. Law enforcement has connected some of these cases to criminal gangs from Eastern Europe and Cuba. They say they're taking advantage of old technology while they still can.
Right now, it's low-hanging fruit for these criminals to come in and install the credit card skimming devices and get those credit card numbers before everybody starts switching over to those chip readers.
Officials say that gas pumps will be switching to chip readers starting October 2017. In Tucson, Zach Moran, Cronkite News.
Vantage West estimates that it's prevented nearly $200,000 in fraudulent activity by working with police to remove the devices officials recommend, paying inside when filling up your tank, and consistently checking bank statements for unauthorized use.
A physical fitness test is a requirement to become a part of the FBI. Cronkite News reporter Alexis Stucraft went to try out this test to see if she could make the cut as an FBI agent.
Not only do you have to be mentally fit to join the FBI, you also have to be physically fit. And today, the media of Arizona got their chance to stretch ourselves to the limit to see if we could pass. FBI recruits are put through a rigorous physical exam.
I always wanted to serve the public and do good for others and create a positive impact, and I thought, you know, of all agencies, I would like to try for the FBI. I do think that people think that they're going to do just fine without training for it, and I can tell you, as you will see today, these events, you are going to need to train for it, and train for it in the order that you're going to do them today.
And a strict protocol is followed when completing the test.
Sit-ups for 1 minute, timed, 5-minute rest. 300-yard sprint, 5-minute rest. Push-ups to exhaustion, 5-minute rest, and then a 1.5-mile run.
And for those who take the test, the nerves kick in early.
I was a little anxious, but it was also exciting at the same time because you know you've prepared for it for so long and you want to test yourself.
You're anxious and you're afraid that you might fail, you might not do as well, or maybe you performed completely or prepared completely wrong. And so I was nervous.
However, the outcome,
every step of the way, it was worth every challenge.
A perfect score is 40, and you need 12 to pass. Looks like I'll be sticking to reporting. Reporting from Phoenix, Alexis Stucraft, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
Thursday on Arizona Horizon, find out about an online Privacy Protection Act that will tell employers and schools when they can access personal online accounts. And hear from the winner of a contest for disability reporting. That's Thursday on Arizona Horizon.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next NewsHour, a look at life-saving efforts by 2 American volunteers on the front lines of the battle for Mosul. That's Thursday on the PBS NewsHour.
Cronkite News Tonight, thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.